come on, it's just a bunch of hocus pocus.
Hello everybody, welcome to my world. So in today's video, I'm going to be doing a makeup tutorial on this look right here, which of course I created using all the products that I purchased. So if you want to know what I bought and how I created this makeup look, just keep on watching. So I currently have no idea what the eye look is going to be, but of course I'm going to be using the Gather Around Sisters palette, which I am super excited to use and test out. I haven't tried any of these shadows yet, so I'm going to be completely winging this look. Hopefully it goes well, we'll see. And as for my base, I already have a couple of products on, you know, foundation, primer, etc. So all that will be listed in the description box below for you. And lastly, as for my eyes, as you can see, I'm wearing contact lenses. They are from Anma Beauty and they are their Pola Violet Yearly contact lenses, which I wanted to use for a Halloween themed video, which is why I am wearing them today. I thought it would kind of fit the vibe, but if you're interested in them, I will also link them in the description box below for you. Also, just an FYI, I did receive a couple more from Anma Beauty, which I will be testing out and reviewing in another video coming up soon, so definitely keep an eye out for that. Anyways, let's get into this eyeshadow look. So as I already mentioned, I had no idea what look I was going for, so some steps ended up kind of being pointless in the end. For instance, I first started off with the shade Come Little Children, which is a mid-tone taupe with silver sparkles, but as you can see, it was too similar to my skin tone and I decided I wanted to do a more colorful eye look, so then I went into the shade Night of Frolic. Now this is a beautiful deep burgundy maroon and I just put that all over my eyelid. It's a very pigmented shade, but you can apply it lightly so that it's a more medium finish or build it up. Now I know you can still see the sparkles from the previous shade, but that didn't really matter because I knew I'd be adding more more sparkly shadows on top later on. I also started to wing out the shadow a little bit, and I'm not being too precise at this stage because I can clean it up a little bit later. Then I moved on to the shade On Toast, and it's a mid-tone yellow brown, and I just took this shade on a blending brush and applied a light layer as a transition shade just to help buff out the edges of the eyeshadow. It was also a very pigmented shade because I really didn't take that much on the brush, but it was pretty visible in person, so I was pretty impressed with this palette. Now the next shade that I chose is I Call It a Bus, and it's a black shadow with copper and purple pearl, and I focused that on the outer corner of my eye. It's also very pigmented, but the issue with this shade is that the sparkles ended up everywhere. As you can see, they're all over my lashes and they ended up all over my face, which sucks because I already had foundation on and they're practically impossible to remove. The sparkles get like embedded into your skin. Also, the black shadow itself had quite a bit of fallout, so ideally you want to do your base last if you plan on using this shade. What I decided to do was take a tiny sticky note and apply it under my eye to help catch all the fallout, and it also helped as a guide for winging out the shadow. Now I know they make these fancy eyeshadow shields that you can buy for this exact reason, but for something I randomly came up with on the spot, it wasn't too bad. And if you have an office space at home or you're a student or whatever, you probably have some sticky notes lying around, so it's a good trick to try out if you're ever in the need of protecting your face from your eyeshadow. Now, the next shade that I of course had to incorporate into this look is Thackeray Binks. It is my cat's namesake, his name inspiration, well, half of it at least. Fun fact, his full name is Chandler Binks, so he's actually named after two characters that I love, Chandler Binks from Friends and Thackeray Binks from Hocus Pocus, of course. But anyways, back to the tutorial. This shade is described as a deep violet shade and it has a metallic finish, so I decided to just use my finger and apply it to the center of my eyelid. Here, I removed the sticky note and just used a blending brush just to try and dust off the fallout that happened earlier. I also used a crease shader brush to blend Call It a Bus and Thackeray Binks together, but of course my camera stopped recording when I was doing that. Here you can see it's blended together nicely, and next I went back into the shade Night of Frolic once again, and using a fluffy blending brush decided to add some more to the outer edges of the look, bringing the color higher up than before. And again, because it's a fairly pigmented shade, I took very little and made sure it was blended out nicely. As for my bottom lid, I wanted to try some more shades in the palette, so this time I chose the shade Bewitched. It's a matte medium olive green shade, and this shade is buildable as well, but here I put on a fairly light layer. And then on top of that, I used the shade Yabos. This is more of a metallic golden olive shade, so it helped brighten it up a bit. But of course, I made the same mistake. I forgot about the sticky note, and then the sparkles went everywhere, so I did have to clean up quite a bit later on. The next shade that I went into is Brew Potion, which is a pressed glitter, so it's basically gold glitter pieces with a bronze undertone, and I focused that on the inner corner of my eye. But to be honest, I didn't love the gold color for this look, so I do end up changing it a little bit later. Next, I went back into Thackeray Binks and added more onto my lid, and I also brought that closer to the inner corner of my eye as well. Then here, I'm just taking a clean fluffy brush and dusting off any of the excess glitter that I can. I also took some micellar water on a piece of tissue and just tried to clean things up a bit around my eye because the glitter was driving me crazy. Next, I went back into Bewitched once again, and this time I'm building up the shade under my eyes, mostly focusing it on the outer corner and darkening it up, also connecting it to I Call It a Bus, which is the black shade above, and I also added a bit more of Yabos on top as well. well, and at this point I've completely given up about worrying too much about the glitter because it's already too late. The next shade I went into was Wench, and it's described as an icy silvery taupe, so it does have a metallic finish, and I applied this to the inner corner of my eye, and I definitely preferred having the silver in the inner corner instead of the gold that I had applied earlier. At this stage, I wanted to make the winged out shadow a little bit more dramatic, so I had to do my go-to lately, which is the tape method. So I stuck a piece of tape down, and then I went back in with I Call It a Bust and winged it out further. Here, I didn't like the shape of the wing, so I just took a clean liner brush and cleaned up the line. So here's my favorite part, pulling off the tape, and we're left with this beautiful clean line. I still did feel like something was missing, so I whipped out this NARS eye paint in Tartar. Obviously this is not from the collection, but I think the color is perfect for this look. It's black with tiny purple and fuchsia sparkles, really pretty, and I just lined my eyes using a rounded liner brush. Now, when I did it here, I didn't wing it out all the way to the tip of the wing, but later on off camera, I did that, and I'm really glad that I did because it just pulled the entire look together really well. Then, of course, I had to use the Sistas Cream Gel Liner, so I just popped that on my waterline. It's a bright copper red, and I really love this color. It's definitely creamy and applied really easily, so this is a great product. Then to finish off the eyes, before I applied the false lashes, I did curl my lashes and put on some mascara. And of course, for the lashes, I used the Flirty Witch Falsies. Just as an FYI, I did buy the Sarah Sanderson lip and eye set, so the products in this picture from the Colourpop website are the only ones I got as a set for $49 instead of buying them individually. Each sister does have their own set of products, and the only thing that stays the same is the Gather Round Sisters palette. I personally liked Sarah's kit the most, so I picked hers, and yeah, this is what it looks like with the false lashes on. It's a very dramatic lash, but it's good for Halloween. And yeah, I just did my second eye off camera and touched up my base, and now I'll show you how I finished off the rest of the look. Alright, so I think I'm done with the eyes, so I just want to finish off with my lips. Wow, it is super creamy. It's just like sliding right onto my lips. That's a stunning color. Wow, it is. This is a beautiful lip liner. I have never had anything this color, and I am in love with the lip liner. Like, I almost want to just wear this alone. This lip liner, really beautiful, very creamy, and I've lost the lid. Wow, stunning. I really love both the lip liner and the lipstick. I love the color. I have never had a red lip this color, and now I'm kind of scared to use this because whenever I find something that I really like, I'm like, oh my god, it's so beautiful, I want to use it all the time. But since it's limited edition, I'm kind of like, oh, well, if I use it too much, I'm never gonna have it again. So I'm definitely gonna have to find dupes for these because the color is just, I love it. This is like for me, my perfect shade of a deep red. But yeah, that is the final look. The only thing that I didn't use is this right here. This is the glitter gel. I don't know if I should pop it somewhere on my face. I'm also not wearing any blush. Maybe let's add some blush and then pop the glitter somewhere. Let's see. Alright, so for blush, I'm just going to go into my Makeup Revolution Shook eyeshadow palette that I use all the time. And there's kind of a reddish shade in here It is this one called Vibe, so I'm going to try to use that as a blush. I'm so sorry, my camera cut off and I have no idea where it stopped, but I just applied some blush, and for that I just used the Makeup Revolution Shook eyeshadow palette, and I just used the shade Vibe, which is just a deep reddish shade, and applied it to my cheeks. Now the only thing that is left is, like I mentioned, I haven't used the glitter gel, and I don't know where to add it, but I definitely want to test it out. So I think I'm just going to take it and apply it kind of here in this area, just very sparsely, so it doesn't look too much. Just do this whole area actually. So if you want it super glittery, you can definitely add more. You can build it up. I just want to do very little. I zoomed you guys in a little bit closer. I should have done that earlier, but you can see the glitter. I really like this stuff. They had a like yellow glitter as well, and normally I would just pick the yellow glitter just because, you know, it's a neutral, it's more of a neutral color and easier to work with, but I told myself, you know, just might as well experiment a little bit, and I'm really glad because the purple obviously goes with the eye look that I ended up doing, so I'm really happy with that. So that is the final makeup look. Let me know what you think about it in the comments down below. But now I just want to give a quick review of all the products that I purchased. Of course, first starting off with the eyeshadow palette. This thing, I am absolutely in love with it. First of all, look at the packaging. It is super cute. I also like that it's nice and compact and you're still getting 15 beautiful shades in here. I absolutely love the color story. I like that you have quite a few darker, deeper shades and a nice mix of shimmery as well as matte shades. So it's really perfect for this time of year, of course. And for someone like me with a darker skin tone, I always find that it's super difficult to build up the pigmentation of shadows on my eyelids, even if they're really darker and deeper shadows. But with this, I did not have to worry about that. They are super pigmented. As soon as I applied them onto my lids, you could see the color, and I love that. That makes me super happy. So I am so glad that I was able to get my hands on this, even though it's from last year's collection. So yeah, definitely a good buy. Then next up, we have, where is it? Oh, this one here. The cream gel liner, which I used on my waterline. Color is absolutely beautiful, and it was definitely very creamy when I was applying it. And the great thing about it is I can still see it on my waterline looking now. For me, usually I have very watery eyes, especially with the contacts, and they were very watery. And I find that anything on my waterline washes away like within 20-30 minutes, to be honest, but it's still holding on there, and it's been quite a while. So I'm very impressed with it and happy with the color that I got. Then next up we have the lip liner and the lipstick. You guys already know from my reaction that I absolutely loved it. The lip liner rather was super creamy on the lips, applied amazingly, and it's a beautiful color, and honestly same for the lipstick as well. Really happy to have them, and I hope that I can find dupes for them someday. Probably Colourpop has them, because I'm gonna be super bummed when I run out of this product. Then next up we have the Glitterly Obsessed glitter gel in Amok. And this is of course that purple glitter that I applied on my cheeks here. I don't know if you can see it right now, but I love this. I usually wouldn't buy something like this because I wouldn't really use it, but I'm very happy with the way that it looks, and I'm definitely going to make use of it somehow in some eye looks in the future. And then I think, oh wait, actually I forgot my lashes. These lashes are of course very dramatic. I think they're the most dramatic of all three of these sisters. Yeah, they're very dramatic, and of course they are not something I would wear every day, but they're perfect for Halloween or just, you know, whenever I'm wearing a costume. They do look quite fake, like the quality is not the greatest, to be honest, and I'm sure you guys can also see the lash band and things like that, and they're very plasticky, but that's really not a big deal for me. They weren't super expensive or anything like that, so I'm still happy with them. I don't think that they look too bad from afar. But yeah, that is pretty cool. And then I think the last thing that I got, which I didn't really show, is the mirror. The I Shall Always Be With You mirror. I think this is so cute. This is the only thing that I bought from this year's collection, and I'm happy that I did because it means a lot to me because of Banks, who usually would be in the background right now, but he's clearly run away right when I need him. But yeah, the mirror is super cute. Usually I wouldn't use a handheld mirror like this when I'm doing my makeup. I like something that where I can have both hands and set it on the ground, but it's a cute collector's item. So yeah, I am very, very happy with all the items that I purchased from the collection. Anyways, that is all for this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please make sure you leave it a like. And if you want to see more from me, make sure you subscribe and turn on your notifications. That way I can catch you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.